Hello. Hi. So this is not a live stream. This is something that's been recorded and is going to go up on my YouTube. Hold on. So we're going to talk about... I'm just going to make a quick character here. So there's something I've wanted to talk about. I'm checking the braids there. Lately, there's been a lot of discussion about Minecraft 1.20 update. Temporals. This update, and I do. Let me before I get too far into it, I apologize. I'm a little bit scattered or something like that. I don't have a script or anything. I am doing this completely off the cuff, and I'm better collected when I put stuff on the paper. But I don't want a script. I want to just sort of. I don't like reading from a script, so. And just also, I didn't sleep very well. I had a little bit of headache earlier. I just apologize if it's a little bit scattered. I tend to kind of getting tangents and stuff. And also, this is the first time I've ever actually recorded something quite like this. Well, okay, it's not quite true. I have had some streams and stuff where I talked about stuff, but a pre-record thing, I guess, is the first time. And so, let's talk about Minecraft. The 1.20 update came out, and it has been surprisingly controversial. Maybe that's not quite, okay, maybe that's not quite the right word. Maybe not quite controversial. I'd say divisive. It's been surprisingly divisive. There are those players who think it's a really nice update, that are really happy with it, that it's really good. And then there's the other side of the community, which is more what I relate to, which is unhappy with it. Unhappy with it, not in the way 1.9 was it people are unhappy with that one, where it was about what it did, but I'm unhappy with it with what it did not do, which is basically anything, honestly. 1.20 1.20 has basically done nothing. Oh yes, why are you being... Hold on a second. My OBS is being a little weird. Okay, apparently it's... I'm gonna have to hope it's still working. I think I've had this problem before, where like it doesn't show... It's OBS issues. You know how it... If you know OBS, you know it's OBS issues. But yeah, so I apologize, I have a little bit of an allergy issue this week. 'Cause, yeah, so... 1.20 1.20 has basically done nothing. 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 1.20 1.20 Oop. It there is essentially no substantial changes to gameplay of any kind in 1.20 or world gen or anything hardly. One point 20 is being considered as one of the most bare-bone updates we've probably ever had. Now here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to be switching between the game here and to Firefox while I... hold on, let me pull up my tab here. Where is it? Here we are. I don't know why it doesn't fit the screen, but yeah. This is essentially what's been going around for 1.20. Just a bunch of wood, new types of wood, and bamboo, and the new cherry blossom tree. All these shards for... Oh, you can't see my mouse. Okay, oops. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now you can see my mouse. All these are just wood. Down here, all these shards just for this one block, the pottery block. Signs which are just, well, a recolor. Like, in this case, it's hanging signs. They have like a little bar that kind of like hang off the side or something like that. And the vanity armors, which is just a bunch of this stuff, right? All the, like, aside from this, which is like an upgrade thing, all of these are just vanity armors. And of course you have this stuff down here, which I'll get to in a minute. This is why people are upset over 1.20. Because this is it. This is the entirety of the update. The most significant addition is the sniffer. Minecraft sniffer. This guy. The sniffer. That is the most significant change to the game right now. Is a mob. A mob whose sole purpose is to dig up only two types of seeds. This like pitcher plant thing and this torch flowers, which, like glow squid, has no glow to it. It's called a torch flower. It clearly has, sort of like a fire theme to it. It does not glow. This is literally the entire point of the sniffer, is to dig up these two seeds. These two seeds. Seed types. It has no other use other than that. It essentially joins... It essentially joins the ranks of, like, the Phantom, which, again, has no use. And the Glow Squid, which has no use. Now, you can say, oh, but the Phantom Membrane, or, oh, but Glow glowing ink sacs, or glow squid ink sacs. Oops, I had to tab. But that's not really enough to justify their existence. Because, like, at least in the case of Phantoms, the Phantom Membrane was added significantly later after they were introduced. Years after the fact, I think. And the glow squid, the ink pouch, could have been accomplished by the purpose of the glow squid ink sac could have been accomplished by glowstone. You know, just as easily. So there's literally no purpose to any of those mobs. And now, of course, there is. And you can say, oh, and if we bring up the LA, I mean, sure, but also kind of good luck getting a hold of them because they only spawn around. I could be wrong. I don't think you can breed them. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think you can. And they only spawn in either woodland mansions or around pillager outposts. Good luck finding that shit. You know, they could be thousands of blocks away. And I don't know if you can put it on LA in a boat. You might have to use a lead, which, oh yeah, leads break super easily, so maybe not for flyers. I don't know enough about like leads on parrots and shit to say for sure, because I never really bought with parrots. Oh yeah, parrots, another more or less useless mob. But the thing is, those mobs are okay, but because they weren't part of a mob vote, they were just part of the update. Mojang didn't ask the players if they wanted them to be added; they just did, and that was totally fine because it's just. And you know what? They give a little bit of ambience to the world, so that's good, honestly. Parrots, frogs, pandas, turtles, dolphins, they're good to have. They make the world feel a little more lively with, you know, fauna. These mobs we're talking about, not so much because they were voted on in the community, which consistently has been kind of a failure because every mob they've added, except for the LA, which again has its own difficulties, have been completely useless. Absolutely useless. And shit, glow squids are literally just a retexture of normal squids. They're not even like a new mob. They're literally a reskin, so and I bring this all up as sort of the greater point of what this whole thing is going to be about, which is the expectations people have of Minecraft. Because this has been a debate for the last few days since 1.20 came out, and it's honestly been a very frustrating thing to see for me, because clearly there's a contingent of people of players who just don't want to understand why people have problems with how the updates turned out. To a point that even one of the developers has basically come out and sort of, has basically latched onto the same strawman rhetoric about why people don't like the update. And that's what made me want to really talk about this, because it's like, it's concerning and it's frustrating because this is a developer not understanding the community at all. which goes to my greater theme of Mojang just as a company in their recent years. Let's go back to the Firefox tab. Let me find. And unfortunately, he deleted the tweet. So I can't share it. But what I can do is I did post it into my Discord, in my private Discord that I have with friends and shit. And there, that Discord, I don't know how Discord works, but essentially it did take sort of a snapshot of the tweet. So I can still read what it once said. This is by King B Dogs. He was one of the creators of the Aether mod, and he now works as a developer for Mojang. This was posted yesterday in the morning, and it has since been deleted by him. Noticing a trend of critiques about Minecraft are from people who want the game to be a different game than it is. A lot of comparisons to Terraria or mods adding extrinsic motivation. Minecraft is a sandbox game, and while it can have more extrinsic goals, that's not its core. He would talk about how these, unfortunately, I cannot read these off, but he would basically kind of go on and talk about, and this is something you've seen repeated throughout the debate, how Minecraft is primarily a building game first and foremost. And I have a funny feeling what may have actually caused the deletion of the tweet, possibly, I don't know, was a response to someone where he said, "You are playing the wrong game if you want meaningful, long progression. I'd suggest Diablo." Now, putting aside that's kind of funny because Minecraft Dungeons exist, which is essentially a Minecraft version of the same genre of Diablo. It is essentially Minecraft Diablo. You could have just gone with that, but instead with a competitor, which is really funny. It is essentially, this whole thing came down to, as I actually retweeted when he made a different response, you're essentially saying those who don't like it don't get it, air quotes, and should play another game. That is both an incredibly condescending response and an incredibly ignorant response towards what people are actually saying within your community. That is what is frustrating about this. I want to bring up my own tweet here because as you see, I've been playing this game for 13 years since beta 1.7, which came out in 2011. Now, I want to make something clear. Just to break, I'm going to break my character, even though I don't actually have my... See, I can't even see it. I have to go into Valheim for you to see it. I don't actually have my thing up here. God damn, no. Oops. Button, please. See? I'm disabling my Steam elements for this one, so. Because I want to speak more from my personal experience as an actual person rather than to my character. But so I'm gonna break the VTuber illusion a little bit here. Okay. When I first played Minecraft, when I first started Minecraft, I would have been 24 years old, I think. Yeah, I'm old. I bring this up to make a point. I do not have childhood nostalgia of Minecraft. I did not grow up with Minecraft. I was well into my adulthood when I started playing Minecraft. So my entire perspective comes from an entirely adult perspective that doesn't have that childlike whimsy that that kind of nostalgia can have. I want to make that clear. So let's look at some of the updates let's look at the updates I've lived through as a player of Minecraft. Beta 1.8, the adventure update. Villages, Endermen, abandoned mines, strongholds, and hunger. I remember that. I remember them teasing villages, Endermen, and shit. I remember that. This was Minecraft release 1.0. Brewing, enchanting, animal breeding, nether fortresses, the end, and the Ender Dragon. This is important. The Ender Dragon back in 1.0. Remember this. Remember that the Ender Dragon came out in 1.0. I'm going to get back to it. 1.2. I forgot what 1.1 was. It was something. It wasn't significant enough for me to really mention. Neither was Beta 1.9, which kind of got folded into 1.1 or 1.0. Fun fact about brewing, though, actually. You want to know why cauldrons exist? Because originally brewing used cauldrons. And you put water in it, and you throw items into it, and it changed colors. The water color. Which I'm sad they never brought back different colored water. But yeah, you throw ingredients into the cauldron with the water, and it sort of like just mash all the effects up into like one potion. That was before. Then they come out. That was I think like it might have been like beta 1.9 is when they started doing that. But then they folded it into 1.0 and changed, and then they added the brewing stand and shit. But 1.12 was a major update to the world gen. Excuse me. Cat, no, you have to get off. No, come on. You have to get off. I'm trying to record a video. You have to get off. Ah, it's a boy. But yeah, 1.12 was a big change to world gen. I forgot the specifics because I do remember world gen was affected. And it added jungles, and zombie attacks villages, like zombie sieges. It added iron golems to defend them. 1.3 added emeralds, trading, desert temples. I spelled enchanting wrong, fuck. But modernized enchanting. I don't remember what enchanting was before then. It's been a little too long. But this is where you started needing like bookshelves for enchanting. I think before then it was just like purely experience based. Like, I think before then it was just, do you have the experience? Yes, then you're good. This is where they actually used bookshelves. It was in 1.3. I fucked up here too. It's because damn it. It's because I copied some stuff around the tweets and So 1.4 added anvils, beacons, command blocks, and the wither. 1.5 was redstone update. 1.7 because 1.6 what was 1.6? Minecraft 1.6. What was 1.6? There's a reason I left it off. Horses. Minecraft added horses in 1.6, which... Oops. I'll get to that later. .7. Another message changed the world gen and added several new biomes. I think it was stuff like... Well, what was it? It was a bunch of biomes. It was like 4 or 5 mesas, roofed forests, shit like that, if I remember right. It had a bunch of like numerous biomes. 1.9, the combat update. Again, that was also a very controversial one. $10, $11, $12. What was 10? I think I may have made a mistake. Left those ones out. What was 10? 10 was... No, that's right. Yeah, it was this stuff. Yeah. 11. I'm gonna bring these back up. I'll just throw them in here. .12. I apologize. Again, I apologize. It's a little scattered. Let's go. I don't want to do this fan. Let's go for the... Okay, never mind. I wanted this one. The actual, like... This one. Yeah, so keep this in mind. The 1.13 was the ocean update, the aquatic update. Before 1.13, oceans were completely barren, except for ocean monuments. There was no life in them whatsoever. There was no kelp, there was no seagrass, there were no fish, no turtles, no dolphins, no corals, nothing. Nothing was in the oceans except for ocean monuments. They were barren as balls. 1.14, revamped villager trading. It added the job blocks. It added levels to trading. I believe. That was not one. It changed the kind of things I could trade for. It was 1.16 was the big revamping of the Nether. Which I'll get to this one in a moment. There's a trade up here. I'll get to this one in a moment. And here's where we gotta get into 17, 18, and 19. They were all part of Caves and Cliffs. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Because although 1.9 was called the Wilds update, it was still Caves and Cliffs Part 3. Because it had the Deep Dark, it had the Ancient Seas, it had the Warden, all of which were meant for Caves and Cliffs. It took them 3 updates over the course of 2 years to fully roll out Caves and Cliffs. And don't get me wrong, Caves and Cliffs is a fantastic update. I love it. I love the new cave generation. I love the new world height. It's great. Those parts of it are great. But everything regarding the Deep Dark, ancient cities and shit, pretty fucking mid, honestly. Pretty fucking mid. And here we are with 1.2, or 1.20, with all this. And also, I forgot camels. but camels are basically sort of like a upgraded version of a horse, really. They still have the same restrictions of like water, like they can't swim in water and stuff like that. They're a little bit taller. They're very much similar to horses. Very similar to horses. So yeah, let's talk about 1.6, 1.8, 1.11, 1.12, 1.15. You see a lot of those ever since, like, have you noticed that? Like, pretty much ever since, like, 1.7. There's several updates I didn't mention. Yeah, that's because 1.6 was horses. Cool, I guess, but horses are kind of useless in a lot of ways, aren't they? They can't go in water, so if you have to cross a river, get fucked, I guess. They struggle going through anything that's not just plain open terrain. You know, forests, spruce forests, root forest, anything with a lot of trees, they're basically useless because you get stuck on the leaves. And the only thing you can really do is basically go through first, cut out a bunch of stuff, make a road. But isn't the whole point of having horses the ability to explore? You know, in a speedy way? I would say so. So horses are kind of useless. 1.10. Mega Block's cool. And that's about it. Netherworld blocks, no one uses those. Red nether brick, cool, but it's just a recolor of nether brick. Fossils, you know the fossils. These things. Have you ever actually seen any of these things in the wild? Probably not. You probably haven't, because they're buried in the desert. Does it actually say how much, like... Each chunk has 2 attempts from the white corners, each with a chance of 1/64th. I have not once, in all my time playing Minecraft, I have not once seen any of these in the wild. Not once in all my years of playing Minecraft since that update came out. A useless update, basically. Again, Mega Blocks are cool. They have a use. The rest of it, fairly useless. 1.11. Some useful stuff like observers, cool. Shulker boxes, cool. Totems of a Dying, they're okay. Except, to get them, you have to find woodland mansions. Okay, but what do you get with Woodland Mansion? Nothing. Woodland Mansions have no real purpose. Their loot is no better than any standard-ass dungeon. Their loot is not special at all. There's no point to find a Woodland Mansion. Exploration maps? The only thing exploration maps basically do is to find a Woodland Mansion. Llamas are useless. Nobody uses llamas, as far as I'm aware. I've not ever heard of a single person actually heavily using llamas. .12 color update. Gameplay, couple game rules. There you go. That's your gameplay changes. Mobs, parrots, illusioners, which didn't they take? Yeah, illusioners, which they didn't even add. Unused and present only in Java Edition. It added a mob that's not even in the game. That, it can't even spawn in the game. So the only mob for this update was parrots, which again, cool. I like having them around, but they are also a very useless mob. The biggest, let's be honest. The biggest thing of this one was concrete. That was the biggest addition to this. Was concrete blocks. Are you starting to see a trend here? Are you starting to see the issue? Ever since like 1.7, more and more. Oh, I forgot to mention 1.5. Bees. 1.5 added bees. Cool. I like bees. Honey blocks, I guess, have a unique use, but what else did it add? What else did 1.15? I said 1.5? I meant 1.15. What else did 1.15 actually add? Oh, okay, that works. Oh, that's 1.5. No, I want. Fine, I'll take this one. Oh, this was the one I wanted. Okay, never mind. I get confused between this one and the other. Whatever. It added behind the honey blocks, which again, those have some unique properties, which is pretty cool. Honey bottles, which are again pretty useless because they don't restore much food or saturation, and they remove poison. But so does milk. Milk also, if I remember right, milk also removes poison. So honey has no purpose. Gameplay, just a couple of more advancements. No gameplay changes. Are you noticing the trend? 1.8, 1.10, 1.11, 1.12, 1.15. They basically added no changes to gameplay except maybe some advancements and some general little tweaking. But they are otherwise, they don't really add anything to the actual experience of Minecraft. And now you can add in 1.20. And again, 1.17 was stretched over essentially 3 updates. So out of all that time, we had 19, 13, 14, 16. Only, and even if you really kind of count like 1.17 as like one unit, but even then that's kind of just because again they're spread over 3 updates. Half of the updates have. Oh, oops! I forgot this. Half of the updates have offered almost little to no actual changes to experience or gameplay. What they add was essentially decorative. That's why people are upset. Because, remember, these are major updates. These are major. They put out there like during Minecon and shit like that. They give them big fancy titles. You know, like the Buzzy update, the Quatica update, the I don't know. This one's Tales and Trails 1.20. Caves and Cliffs. They give them these big fancy names. They hype them up. Yeah. And then they deliver almost nothing of substance. They deliver very little actual. They don't deliver very little or no gameplay at all. Very little substance aside from some blocks and shit. And that's kind of ridiculous, wouldn't you say? Because I think it would be. I think it's kind of safe to say that's a little ridiculous. You know, these are supposed to be major updates. Look at a game like, say, No Man's Sky. They also use sort of a named update system, where they have these updates that are big and they have names and they hype them up. And sometimes they don't really hype them up, actually. They just kind of drop them and like, here you go. But they do a lot with what they offer. You know, revamped building, new vehicles, new ships, new quest lines, ruined outposts, you know, ruined space stations, the pirates. One of the latest ones was like corruption, a kind of, you know, storyline about some type of corruption that's been happening to the Sentinels. You know, and it's like, those are major updates, and they offer major things for them that feel befitting of a major update. You know, and even something like Valheim. And believe it or not, there's a reason why I'm playing Valheim right now. I'm actually going to tell you right now. There's a reason why I'm... God damn it. There's a reason why I'm playing Valheim, which I'll get to in a bit. But let's talk about Valheim, for example, because it also had a major update. Before Mistlands. I forgot what they called it. Hearth and Home or something like that. Is the Hearth and... I think it was Hearth and Home. It's the Hearth and Home update. We'll call it that. It had a major update that was also very divisive among the community. Because there was a lot of people who were like... Because the big thing was that it added a bunch of like building pieces. Ooh, that's not a great spot for a fucking... You know, it added a major update. There were a lot of people who were very upset because they were like, we waited all this time for this, for a bunch of building pieces. And it was a very similar argument to what's going on in Minecraft right now, actually. It's a very similar argument. Except there's one big difference between Minecraft and Valheim. Building is integral to Valheim. And let me ask you this. What does building offer in Minecraft? Mechanically, what does building actually do? What does it offer? I'll wait. Think about it. Really think about it. Come up with an answer. What does it do? To what value? To what purpose? Outside of doing something just to do it. Outside of, you know, basically just like, oh, expressing your creativity or whatever. What mechanical value is there to building Minecraft? Have you figured it out yet? The answer is none. There is no mechanical value to building in Minecraft. You can dig a hole in the ground and be just as good as having an established base. That's because all you need in Minecraft is literally a hole in the ground. That's all you need. You never have to build a building in your life in that game. So what about Valheim? What makes Valheim different? Valheim, building has a purpose. Building has a very significant purpose. One is, as you're about to see, it's going to get cold. Because it gets cold at night. And cold is a debuff. You don't want to be cold in this game. It's bad. It actually causes you to... I forgot exactly what the debuff does. It's like lower stamina regen or something like that. But there is an actual reason to build a base, which is to get out of the cold. You know, build a fire, get out of the cold. Now, sure, you could build a fire outside, except there's also rain. Rain puts out fires. So you need a place to put the fire, just keep it out of the rain. Workbenches. Workbenches. Well, let me show you. Workbenches needs a roof. In order to even use the workbench, I need to at least put in a little shack of some kind. There's a reason to build at least something so I can just use my workbench and repair my tools and shit and just craft things like that are outside of my basic inventory. Case in point, wood arrows. Let me go outside. This is turn nighttime. Cold. I just turned cold. Beds need to be indoors. They need a roof. As you can see in the corner there, I have the rested buff, a very powerful buff. That you can only get from shelter. Not just shelter, but not only that, but the better the shelter, the more decorated the shelter, I can actually get more time on my rested buff. I think I'm currently up to like 24 minutes? Something like that, at least 24 minutes. Building in Valheim has an integral, intrinsic purpose to it. Rather than doing it just because. Because if your game is essentially like, oh, do things just because, you don't have much of a game then, though, do you? Smoke. There's another thing. Smoke. You need a place for smoke to go. If I was to close off this part here, the smoke would go up, around, and down into my bed, and I would die from smoke inhalation, because that's a mechanic in this game. Ventilation. Oh. I thought it was raining. Building is intrinsically tied to the mechanics of Valheim. And there is a mechanical support in the game for it. You're rewarded for building. Now, before you say, but wait, are you saying that Minecraft should have the same mechanics as Valheim? No. My point, though, is that there's no reason to build in Minecraft other than because you want to. And that's coming from me. I am a builder. I love building things. It's one of the reasons I love Valheim so much is because I find its build system to be very pleasing. You know, fairly robust, and the fact that it rewards me for decorating, I love it. It encourages making nice houses. And it's simple enough that it's not a pain in the ass. Like say Conan Exiles, where building can actually be kind of a frustration in that game. Same with Ark Survival Evolved, but for Ark it's for different reasons. For Ark it's mostly my perfectionist brain hating the fact that like build points are kind of weirdly misaligned and shit. And like you look at like roof pieces and stuff, like roof pieces and stuff, and they clip to the wall because they're not actually designed with walls in mind and shit, and just Ark, fucking Ark. But no, but building's built into the core of Valheim. And there's a reason to want to build in Valheim. Unlike in Minecraft. Which, again, you can build Minecraft because you want to. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm not saying. You know, but there's still no reward for it other than you want to. You know, other than I do it for fun. Because let me tell you, I'm gonna pause it here. Let me tell you a little bit of a story, okay? Let me tell you a bit of a story. I hope you don't mind if I'm gonna try to focus a little bit on the story, so I'm gonna pause this here for a minute. Back in, God, let me look up what year it was. Okay, I'm getting some other shit than what I thought I would get. That's interesting though. I'll have to look into that. Okay, so okay, I can't quite find the days I want to find, but okay, that's fine. The year was like, I don't know, probably something like it was late 90s for sure. Probably like 98, 97, 98, something like that. I don't know exactly what year. A famous developer of Maxis, Will Wright, his family had an emergency. They had a house fire and their house burned down. And some of you know exactly where I'm going with this. You know, if you do good on you know your history of what I'm about to talk about. But yeah, his house burned down. And at that time, because I was alive at the time, I was probably like, I don't know. Let's see, if it was 1998, probably like 12, 13. We'll say like 11 to 13, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly how old I was. But this was the time when the internet was just getting popular. Home computers were just starting to really spring up. And computing technology was starting to really improve. And with that came a lot of industries trying to find out, exploring their options with computing, trying to figure out what can we do to make life easier for ourselves, It was again. It was a very exploratory time for technology. What and what one of the things that came out of it that's relevant to the story were home design programs. They were essentially these like programs where you could design a floor plan. You could again they're very rudimentary. I want to make that clear. They're very rudimentary, but you could essentially design a floor plan. You could choose the walls, the colors of like the roof, this kind of stuff, what type of roof. And I think someone would even have like a crusty like 3D model that you could really kind of rotate to basically to get a sense of what this house would look like if you actually went ahead and built it. And this was something that's heavily used by real estate agencies, but also they became really popular enough that there's also home retail versions. My family actually had one. And Will Wright, after losing his home and then being a new one, and then sort of like playing around with these programs, he had and also going around and going around having to buy furniture, choosing what they wanted to decorate their new house with, and shit like that. He had this idea of, this is kind of cool. What if there was a game where you could build a house and you could try furnishing it? You could choose, what to put in it, what to furnish it with, and just sort of emulate that experience of building. And that's what he went with. And it got the working title of Project Dollhouse. He made Project Dollhouse, and I don't quite remember how it went in detail. If people liked it, but they're like, it's a little boring, or I don't remember exactly how it got to him. But at some point, he had the idea in mind then of, wait a minute, there was another game that was based around ants that he made. That is also been published by Maxis. Oh, there's another house right here. And this game sort of simulated the workings of an ant colony. And part of it was like also it was fun enough invading a guy's house as ants. But it was essentially sort of this whole thing of like there's an ant colony and they kind of had a rudimentary AI where they kind of do their own little thing and whatnot. And so he came up with the idea of, well, wait, what if you took this Project Dollhouse and you put little people in it? Little people who could like interact with things and move around and sort of live their lives. Do you want to take a guess at what game this eventually became? This Project Dollhouse? Project Dollhouse was the beginnings of The Sims, one of the most successful game series ever sold, and one of the most groundbreaking, sort of almost like revolutionary game, series ever sold. I cannot understate just how obscenely popular The Sims got back in the day. Fucking everybody was playing it. People who didn't play games bought it and played it for hours and hours. There were people who said that they take their vacation time off of work and then sick time off work just to sit at home and play The Sims all day. It was huge. It was this massive cultural phenomena. And I bring it up because The Sims, at its core, was a game about building. The very idea of a game about building was what birthed the idea of The Sims. And even Will Wright realized that that's not enough. There has to be something to do with that building. There has to be some type of reward for it. Building for the sake of building is not enough for a game it's just not enough. It's not enough. There has to be more to it than just building. Why do I bring this up? Now, you may be asking that. Why am I bringing this up? Because while unfortunately I can't get back those tweets because they were deleted, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm trying to load up these tabs here. And we get stuff like this. Minecraft hate is so confusing to me because it's a sandbox. You're literally in control of everything. It's boring because you're boring. Oops. I've played through Minecraft many times with thousands of different mods, and funny enough, my favorite and most memorable playthroughs were through vanilla. And I want to bring up this fact. This is Young. He's a modder, and I'm going to bring up some of his mods in a minute here. When you've played Minecraft a lot, there isn't that much to do. When you've played Minecraft a lot, there isn't that much to do. Even he admits this. So in my most memorable vanilla play, we created things to do ourselves. Things like building a beautiful settlement, role-playing various characters in different jobs, holding town votes to elect a mayor, and even building our own Hunger Games arena. There is, etc., etc. There is this idea that Minecraft is a building game first and foremost. You even see it here. He mentions building twice. You see it here. The control of everything. This isn't about building, but it's essentially what's this sort of alluding to. This whole conversation here, man, was about, again, unfortunately, I deleted tweets, so I can't go back to it. But he was talking about how it's a building game first and foremost. Minecraft is a building game first and foremost. The problem with that? Oops. 1.18. Exploration. 1.20. Adventuring and exploration. 12. Exploration and adventuring. 13. Trading. Trading and building on exploration. 15. Okay, I'll give you 15 because it's redstone stuff. But I don't know if you can. I guess it's kind of building. 14. Anvils, beacons, command blocks, and the withered. None of that's about building. 17 was world generation, exploration. 19 combat. 13 exploration. 14 rebuilding of trading, which is about adventure and exploration, mostly adventure. 16 revamping the nether biomes, bastions, adventure and exploration. 17, 18 adventure and exploration. None of these were about building. Not a single one of these updates in here, except for maybe 1.5, is about building. They're about combat, they're about adventure, they're about exploration. Minecraft is not a building game. Building is a part of it. It's part of its heart. It's part of what the appeal of it. But Minecraft is not, first and foremost, a building game. The building aspect is secondary to its true core, as you can see in all these updates, which is about even part 3 of even Deep Dark War in Ancient Cities, adventure and exploration. Horses, ocean monuments, that stuff. Building or exploration. Or not building, adventure and exploration. Minecraft is, first and foremost, above a building game, an adventure game. It's about an adventure. I bring up Young because you want to know what his mods are? The mods he's known for? Better strongholds, better desert temples, better witches hunts, better ocean monuments, better mine shafts. Taking the stuff in Minecraft like that and revamping them to be different and better. Better nether fortresses, as another one. Even Young here, through his actions of his modding, realizes that Minecraft is about adventure. The problem with things like this is the problem. We create things to do for ourselves. That is the problem. That's not to say it's a bad thing, but the problem is that only takes you so far. Great that you have this opportunity. I don't have that opportunity to play like that. Many people don't. Many people don't. And your friends to create your own stories. Hell, you see this you can see this in action when you're SMPs. The problem with that though is this top MC content creators SMPs are different than your standard player. Your standard player either plays alone, plays with a few friends. Again, a few friends. Sorry, I picked the mic. Maybe like 1 or 2 or 3. Or on some public server. They don't generally have the opportunity to do things like this unless they establish it themselves. They don't have the opportunity to have a whole lot of people like content creators SMPs. They don't have that opportunity. And it's funny that it says many people don't seem to understand what Minecraft doing. This is funny because, again, he's making mods that Mojang should be doing. Because his mods that I'm referencing are about taking what already exists and improving it to make it more adventure-oriented. And the problem is, stuff like this. To all the insufferable Minecraft fans, quotes, who won't shut up about how there's another that's more, Mojang is lazy. 1.16 adds 93 items. 1.20 adds 99 items. Okay. All one type of wood, all part of the same item, basically just a different variant of signs, all part of the sort of the same group of items. Which, again, don't get me wrong, vanity armors are cool, but still, what did 1.20 do gameplay wise? Nothing. Nothing. It didn't do anything gameplay. 1.16, okay, it added some items. What do you have for items? New enchant. Okay, these are all a single enchantment. But netherite items, gold ore in the nether, gold ore in the nether. It added lodestones. It added the target block. It added soulfire. It added 2 new biomes to the nether. It completely revamped how the nether even works. It gave it 2 new biomes. It gave it bastards. It gave it piglins. It gave it piglin trading, which is why there's gold ore in the nether. Or does piglin trading come from 1.16? Actually, let me correct that. Minecraft piglin trading. Wasn't it like a 1.16 point something? Like a 0.4 or some shit like that? Does it say when it was introduced, by chance? Okay, no, it was part of 1.16. So it was part of 1.16. Bartering, that's what I call it, bartering. It added bartering. Again, it had nether. It had a whole new tier above diamond. It may have added less items, but what it did on the other stuff was significant. It was significant. This didn't do anything. This added absolutely 0 gameplay elements. I brought up Valheim and its Hearth and Home update for a reason. I think I really lost track, but I brought it for a reason. People didn't like Hearth and Home because they're like, oh, all these elements are all for builders. We waited like a year or whatever it was, or however long the update was. For this, this is what you gave us? Building pieces? No one wants this. Well, except for builders like me who are like, yes, thank you, more building pieces. Thank you, I love building. But more importantly, what that update did, that a lot of those people ignored, was the Hearth and Home update did a hell of a lot under the hood work. It did a hell of a lot of things that we as players don't see because it's back-end shit. It's like, it's either back-end shit or it's structural or mechanical shit that we won't see, but it will make it easier going forward for the developers to add on to updates. You know, because sometimes that has to happen. Sometimes they have to go back, revamp the things we don't see to make it work better. That was a major part of that update, which is why it only had building pieces, because what wasn't building was all stuff that was under the hood. This update didn't do any of that. 1.20 did none of that. There's no under the hood work here, as really, aside from a few tweaks and shit. What am I looking for? Not that one. Look at this. The thing is, this is again, King Bee Dogs again. The thing is, well, here's, please give us some bigger intro. Please give us back good combat mechanics. Please give us movable time. Here are camels. Why you have to be mad? I says why to be mad, but like I always imagine it as like Captain Sparkles being like, why you have to be mad? The thing is, this is actually not what people are asking for in all of the critical posts about 1.20. People are asking for new bosses, biomes, enemies, etc. No one mentions movable tile enemies. No one mentions bigger inventories. Funnily enough, actually, though, as someone else pointed out, backpacks are one of the most requested item in the game, with 1,000 comments. There's 1,000 comments for backpacks. People are asking for backpacks. I like what one person said, which was basically the reason why no one's asking about it anymore is because we gave up. But what's really funny about this, no one's asking for inventory space. Then what are bundles? What are Minecraft? What are these? What are these if not inventory? They are literally items for more inventory. Even if the way I understand they work is completely half-assed and makes them totally useless. As I understand it. Because essentially a bundle only has 64 units, we'll call them, so say like bundle slots, we'll call them units. Only has 64 units. So basically a stack. A bundle can hold a single stack of items. Except each unit cost is based off their actual stacking amount. So it's just like, basically bundles are going to come out, they're going to be completely, here's my prediction: bundles, they're going to come out, nobody's going to use them because they're going to realize, oh, they don't actually save any real inventory space aside from like very situational circumstances. They're absolutely 100% not a replacement for backpacks. Because the way they work is, all you had to do was give us a little bag with 6 slots that you can put whatever in. That'd been great. That's all you had to do. But instead you had to be like this really convoluted way that I can't even easily explain, without just reading the fucking wiki. But the point is, that's an inventory item. You're right, people are asking for new bosses, biomes, enemies, etc. Do you know why? Well, biomes is funny because 1.12 biome. 1.17 biomes. 1.13 new biomes. 1.7, I think, or did I say 1. I think I said, actually 1% had numerous new biomes. 1.16 new biomes. You've had 1.20 added cherry groves. Even this, even Kansas Coast kind of had something that could be equated to new biomes. Are they technically biomes? Maybe not, but they're close enough to be like sub-biomes or whatever, with lush caves in the deep dark. New biome, not to mention, mangrove trees, mangrove forest swamps, a new biome. You add new biomes all the time. Plus, what happened about revamping the old biomes? Do you guys remember that? They're like the biome votes. Where is that? Where's all that coming from? You said you'd revamp spruce. I mean, they said they'd revamp spruce biomes. I guess they added berry bushes and foxes. That's cool, I guess. Not much of a revamp, though, if you ask me. They'd say they'd revamp swamps. They didn't. They just added a new type of swamp. But the old swamps are exactly the same. There's still absolutely no sign on the horizon about the oases and deserts, the revamped deserts, or the revamped savannas, or the revamped anything else. There's no sight on the horizon about any of those. Where's the new revamped biomes you promised? Yeah, people want new biomes. Yeah, people are asking for new biomes because you're constantly adding new biomes every other update, it feels like. New enemies. Yeah, new enemies because people are bored with just zombie creeper skeleton. It's like, yeah, people want new enemies because people are bored with what you have in the game already. Oh, and I guess Enderman too, but Enderman are, semi-passive, so. Yeah, people want more enemies. We're not asking for a huge ton. We're just asking for something that maybe isn't just a variation of skeleton or zombie. And also not Phantom, because Phantoms are fucking annoying. You could have revamped the Phantom. You could have changed how the Phantom works, gave him a revamp, but you didn't. You still haven't. That's why people were really upset when the Iceologer lost. Because it's a new enemy. Finally, something that's at least a little bit of a threat in this game. Even a little bit of a threat. You get glow squids that don't even glow. New bosses. Yeah, because the Wither was added 11 years ago. And there's not even much of a point to kill the Wither. The only thing it drops is the Nether Star. What good is a Nether Star? A beacon, and End Crystal, summon another Ender Dragon. That's it. That's the only two uses a Nether Star has. It has no other uses. Most people probably don't even bother killing Wither because there's no point to. I bet most people don't even bother making a beacon. And the Ender Dragon, the final boss, the so-called final boss, 12 years ago. It's been over a decade since we had a new boss. No wonder people want a new boss. I guess you could maybe call the Elder Guardians bosses, but no, they're really not. They're just kind of beefed up Guardians. And even so, the Aquatic update added Tridents, which do extra damage to Guardians and Elder Guardians. This is why, and here we have, oh shit, hold on, I don't have it up. Shit, I forgot to grab this one. Let me grab this one for you, here. Redigit. Or Redigit, or whatever, okay, we're gonna use Redigit. Do you know who this is? This is the guy who made Terraria. He was an Air Force veteran? Oh, I didn't know that. This is the guy who made Terraria. Wanting more of a purpose out of Minecraft was a big part of what drove me to make Terraria. Yeah. Yeah. Because the thing is, right, in the conversation that this whole thing was about, which is the whole people don't understand Minecraft and why and how it's mostly a building game. It was essentially a rejection of progression. Wanna know why people love Terraria? Wanna know why people love Valheim? Valheim is largely a building game. Building is a core part of Valheim, but it also has progression. Progression is something to strive for. Progression is a motivator. People want a reason to feel like they play Minecraft. I love Minecraft. I'm playing Minecraft on stream as a series. But it's hard sometimes. I've been playing Minecraft for 13 years. 13 years. I've done so much stuff with Minecraft. And unlike this person here, I'm sorry, I don't have the creativity to make these massive builds. That's not something I can help. It's because you're boring. Yeah, I am boring. You're right. I am boring in a lot of ways. That's not my fault. I can't help that. I can't just summon creativity from the muse of the gods into my soul like a poet. I can't do that. I don't have the mind for large, fantastical builds. You wanna know what my builds are? They're somewhat smaller on scale, a little compact, but very homey. It's like People want progression because they want to feel a reason to play the game again. They want to feel like they're getting something valuable out of it again. That's why people love updates like 1.17, like 1.15, like, or goddamn, 1.3, 1.5, 1.7. 1.13, 1.16. The first half of 1.17 and 18, if you sort of tie them together. Want to know why people don't like the Deep Dark and the Ancient Cities very much? It's because there's no reason for them. You go in there, what do you get out of it? Basically nothing. You basically don't get anything out of the Deep Dark, of the Ancient Cities. I'm sorry. You get a Death Compass, but by the time you get it is, I guess, kind of useful, but also kind of useless. Especially when you can just F3, because that's always been a thing. But, they're nice to have, but again, it's not an integral thing. You don't get any real special loot aside from, like, a single enchantment, which allows you to I think, to move faster while sneaking. And a music disc. And I guess now you can also get one of these things. Yeah, one of the templates. But that's it. There's almost no reason to go into an ancient city. They just really aren't worth it at all. They're really not worth it. People want adventure. They want a sense of progression. What do you do in Minecraft, right? For example, take leather armor, for example, or gold armor. Who wears leather or gold? Fucking no one. Absolutely no one does. You go right for iron, and then diamond, and then netherite. You literally skip 2 tiers of armor. Because there's basically no reason to have them. It is far, far easier to get a full set of iron armor than it is to get a full set of leather armor. That's fucking terrible progression. People don't want Minecraft to be Terraria. We don't want to have the same type of progression as, like widespread, long-term progression as Terraria. What we want is just a few things to keep us incentivized. That's it. But instead, the response we get from, here is basically no. Do you want to know why? Do you want? Or like here, right? 90% of don't see the way you and many content creators see it. Again, this is the problem. You're basically saying, oh, you want progression? No. Oh, you want more biomes? No. You want more bosses? No. You want anything other than wood and a few vanity pieces? No. 90% of the players don't agree with you. Go play another game. Because again, I repeat, you are playing the wrong game if you want meaningful, long progression. I'd suggest Diablo. He said this. A Mojang developer, a Minecraft gameplay developer at Mojang told you want progression? Go play Diablo instead. This is why people are so frustrated. Because more and more it feels like Mojang does not care about what we want, what we say, or just its player base in general. Look at the chat system changes, the chat report. People point out that it was a terribly broken and highly exploitable system. What did they do? They lied about it. Oh, I have a message. They lied about it. They said it's totally safe. Only for other content creators to come out and show, no, it's not. Here's how I exploited it very easily. And they basically continue to lie about it. Changes to like, oh, we're banning guns because we want a child-friendly image. Fortnite has guns. Fortnite's played by, hundreds of thousands, not millions of children. Guns are just not the big deal that they used to be anymore in children's media. Whether that's good or bad, part of the discussion. But this is on top of the fact that Mojang support for his TOS is incredibly shaky, where it's like you have creators, like server owners, creators basically being like, we're getting mixed messages. Your staff says one thing, your support says another thing. We can't get a clear answer, but what's allowed and what's not. But also, there's clearly systems in place that are against your TOS that you allow anyway, like gambling, where they literally say, we don't allow gambling, but we allow loot boxes, which are gambling. This is the problem. This is the problem Mojang has and the problem Minecraft has. This is a problem. They are not listening to us. They are instead being like, no, we're going to take this in the direction we want to take it, which, okay, fair, but we are the audience. Should you listen to everything the audience has to say? No, of course not. Should you certainly listen to our feedback, though, and consider it? Yes. Whether you reject it or not, that's up to you. But you should at least consider it. The reason people bring up the modding scene is because the modding scene, you can say, oh, but it violates the theme of Minecraft. Yeah. But they add in but take the create mod. The create mod adds in mechanics that are so wildly new and revolutionary to Minecraft that a modder can do it. But a fucking team of developers paid by Mojang can't? But instead what they give us is this for an update? All this? This is why people are equating it to modders. Not because of what modders add, but because of what they are capable of doing. There's a meme going around. Actually, hold on. See more. Let's take a look through the Minecraft tab, shall we? Or in Mojang, for example. Let's do Mojang. I'm not going to talk about this stuff. Because this has always been, like, this stuff, like, it's free content or this is, it's a fallacy. Okay, it's a fallacy. So I'm not going to address it because it's a fallacy. You know? I want to see if I can find this, stuff like this, these memes like this. Mojang plays after a long day doing absolutely nothing. Bro died on my couch. This is a sort of trend in memes where it's like Mojang developers after doing like a very minimal amount of work. Either they're exhausted, or they're stressed, or they're angry, or some relation to something like this. This exists for a reason. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But it exists because this is what we get for a major update. This is what I get for a major update. The reason why people are bringing up modders is because modders can do so much more and do so much more than the Mojang devs do. And it's not that people want to see those mods in the game. What they want to see from Mojang is more initiative. That's the problem. It's their initiative. It's their... It feels like Mojang doesn't have initiative. It feels like they don't have direction. Mojang's, Minecraft feels very directionless right now. And... stuff like this, I think I understand. Some people feel obligated to keep playing despite not enjoying it. No one's feeling obligated to play it. This is not the case. People don't feel obligated to play it. People want to play it, but it just doesn't feel like it respects their time anymore. Because it's just more of the same that it's always been. Which, unfortunately, for some games, that's good. I could probably play Terraria for a very long time because there's so much to do in it. The Sims, there's so much to do in The Sims, I could play that for years and years. I probably will. I still go back and play Sims 2. Not Sims 3, though, because Sims 3 is a broken hot mess. I play Sims 2, though. Absolutely. I'd love to play more Sims 2. So, not enough things I enjoy becomes not enough things. Yes, because we're not enjoying the things that they're putting into the game because it's lackluster. Because it's this. That's the problem with Mojang. It's this. It's that it feels like they're just adding things to add things, that they don't have a direction, and that when we call them out on it, when we complain about it, when we say we want more progression and stuff because we want to love the game. We want more exploration. We want more adventure. We want adventure. Their response is, no, it's a building game first and foremost. Shut up. You just don't get it. And the community supports it. The community is like, well, you're just greedy and entitled. I'm sorry that I love Minecraft so much and that I want to see it be better. My bad. Because if this keeps up, people will leave Minecraft for games like Terraria. If this continues. Will Minecraft truly end? Will it truly die off? No. But it will go back into a recession again, where it will become irrelevant more and more irrelevant once more. It will happen if this continues. I genuinely love Minecraft. I really do. I have been playing it for 13 years. I'll be playing it for another 13 more. I'll be playing for 13 after that. But I want Minecraft to be more than it is. I want it to continue to thrive. I want it to have more content. To have more bosses, more enemies, more adventure in my adventure sandbox. Do you remember what the first time... Think back. When you first played Minecraft, were you taken aback by the building? Were you like, wow, I can build in this game? Or were you taken back by the exploration, by the diving into caves, by the fighting off of zombies and skeletons and creepers, by the finding of new and interesting biomes, by the finding of loot, of finding your first, your first dungeon? Which one was it? Was it the building of Minecraft, or was it the thrill of adventure? What was it that you first remember, that you first loved about Minecraft? Which one was it? Because for me, and for many, many others, it was the adventure. The building was great, the building was fun, but it was first and foremost the adventure. I want to have hope for Minecraft. I really do. But this does not feel very hopeful. This feels like they're going to continue the course come hell or high water. And what we have to say does not matter to them. Because here you have a Minecraft gameplay developer basically flat out saying our criticisms do not matter. Because we just, quote unquote, don't get it. I just want to make clear that's a paraphrase. That's my interpretation. That's a paraphrase. But when you basically come out and saying it's a building game first and foremost, maybe I'm not the one who doesn't get it. Maybe you're the one who doesn't get it. Maybe you are the one who has lost sight of the lighthouse. This doesn't feel very helpful. I hope it, and I really hope it changes, though. I genuinely very much hope it changes. Whether it will or not, it's up to them. But this mentality has to change. Otherwise, Minecraft will just fade away into the background once more. If you reached this far, I want to thank you for listening to my commentary about this. I'm very passionate about Minecraft. I love this game. And I just really wanted to talk about this because I felt I want to get my voice out there on this matter. Again, I don't want the game to be not Minecraft. I don't want it to be Terraria. I don't want it to be full of all these mods and shit. The mods can stay as mods. But I do want vanilla Minecraft to have at least a little bit more. A little bit more of something to keep my engagement. To keep it going. I'm not the most creative person. That's true. I don't have many friends who play Minecraft. A game should be able to be enjoyable on its own without the need of friends. Friends are a benefit. Friends should be a benefit, not a requirement. Unless it is a circumstance where it is a game very specifically designed to have multiple people. Case in point, like a battle royale or something like that. Or, there's some games where they are designed to have multiple people. Minecraft should not be one of those games. Minecraft should be enjoyable on your own. Friends are a benefit. I just want Minecraft to have more adventure in its soul again. I'm fine with more wood. I love the bamboo and this cherry. I love the looks of them. I do generally really like what they added. I wish pots could be dyeable, add a little more color, like they showed off when they first announced archaeology. This shit can go fuck off though. But the sniffer and all these flowers are ugly as sin, if you ask me. But I do love a lot of this stuff. But I want adventure. Again, thank you for listening. I hope everyone has a nice day. If you enjoy the game still, good for you. I'd even say I'm a little bit envious. But for some of us, we just want more. I wish everyone well. Stay safe out there. I'll see you another time. I'll go ahead and turn that off. Bye-bye.